What's going on, guys? This is Javier again, coming to you with another MA Biz U show. Let me make sure that this feed is going in correctly. Looks like it's going in. Still learning this new software called Ecamm Live, which is a pretty cool program, but at the same time, what I noticed, there are some certain limitations that doesn't allow us to do certain things. So, like, I can't film this right now on, for instance, in the actual event, like I've done in the past. And the other part is that I notice is that I can't see comments or whoever is chiming in the actual event or in the these lives using the software. So then I have to actually have another just the actual website or the Facebook page up and running. Anyways, I hope that you guys are enjoying your post 4th of July. I know that I had fun my 4th of July yesterday. It was great just spending time with family, hanging out. We have a big, cool community gathering down close to Civic Center Park, where close to our house, where we do this big water parade, and it's a big water fight. So really cool, unique, different. And then just went downtown and listened to some live music, had some dinner down there. No fireworks in Colorado since the entire state is on fire. So hopefully nothing happens close to our home. I think we're far away enough from the mountains, but it's not to say that nothing bad can happen. With that said, I hope you guys had a powerful 4th of July. Enjoyed it with your family, your friends, that sort of stuff. And I'm going to kind of start talking to you about the next topic for this week for the MA Biz U show. This one is called, Are You Running a McDojo? And so this is, I would say, is a touchy subject because a lot of people, they really get offended if they get classified as a McDojo. And I think to a degree I can understand, but then when you start understanding what a McDojo is, then you should be like, well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And so that's what you want to kind of understand is that it's perspective based on what people think and what your ultimate goals are for your business, for your martial arts studio, and all that stuff. So I've been conversing with lots of people, and I know a lot of people that say is like, I'm not trying to make a fast buck or anything like that. I was just wanting to place, to teach martial arts, and just that's about it. Well, here's the thing, guys. At the end of the day, if you are teaching martial arts in exchange for money, and you've got rent to pay, and you get some sort of overhead, I'm sorry to say this, you have a business. Okay? So I don't care if you were just doing it just because you want to give back to the community. I don't care if you're just doing it because you're bored or you need a place to train or whatever. But if you are taking money from people to pay for your services, and you are paying some sort of rent, and you have some sort of overhead, then you are a business. And so you got to take it as a business, guys. That's the most important thing about understanding, on running a martial arts studio is know that you have a business to run, you have things to do, you have bills to pay. And that does not make you a McDojo. It makes you a business. And if people say, well, it's not right to charge for something that you're trying to give back, it's not right for you to not allow other people to experience your knowledge. Okay? And your time is valuable. You put a lot of time, money, effort into your martial arts training. You should be compensated fairly for it. Okay? And so that's something that's really important, guys, is that I feel like a lot of people, and especially in the martial arts industry, feel as though they don't deserve to get paid for it fairly. I'll put it another way. If you're a church pastor, if you're a church goer, you get paid to give sermons. You get paid through the tithing. You get paid through your messages, and if you're really good, then you get invited to do, conferences and keynote speeches and talks and stuff like that, and whatnot. And you're like, well, they don't get paid a lot. I can tell you right now, a lot of pastors make a decent income. I promise you that. They are not living on the streets, okay? I'm not saying that they're living, you know, high class and driving Benzes and stuff like that, unless, you know, like you have a conglomerate church or whatever, and nothing against it either. But they're getting paid, all right? I will tell you this, and I'm not undermining school teachers by any means, but don't put yourself in the same category as a school teacher, and that you shouldn't be paid for your services. You are a private entity, okay? So as a private entity, you determine what your prices are. You determine what you should be paid. As a person that works for the state, you don't get to determine that, okay? The state determines your income and determines a lot of the stuff. And so, you know, you're not a McDojo, if that's what you're wondering. You know, taking an income does not make you a McDojo. So I've got a bunch of topics here about what is a McDojo and are you running a McDojo. So a McDojo, you know what? Let's just do this. I'm gonna start a new search really quick, and we're gonna actually read it. What is a McDojo? We're gonna read it really fast. All right, this is what I got from. Gosh, you do a search, and this is what pulls up is from bjjee.com. Article is 20 warnings and signs of a BJJ McDojo. So a McDojo phenomenon is a plague that has infected martial arts schools all over the world. It's basically a martial arts school or franchise of schools that have shady, poor instructors that are only focused on making money and that make false claims. Okay. So that is a definition from not a reliable source. It's some dude's website. Okay. So let me just reiterate that. It's a dude's perspective of what a McDojo is. Okay. And so what I need you guys to understand is that don't take what other people think as the gospel and be like, oh my goodness, you know, I'm a shady company because I'm taking an income. That's not fair. No. I said this before. If you are a place, a martial arts studio or business or whatever, or so that provides a service, and you have overhead, you have rent, all right, you got to pay staff, you got to pay gas and electric, you got to pay water, you got to get insurance, you have to have equipment, you got to stay on track with your training, so you got to travel for seminars, or you have to invite people for seminars, whatever. And you take some sort of income, that classifies you as a business. Now, if you are, you know, a nonprofit group, then that's different, okay? Because you technically can't profit, but that doesn't mean you can't make money. That's what people don't understand, is that as a nonprofit, you can make lots of money. You just basically have lots of write-offs. So you give away a lot. So you almost have to have like a zero balance sheet, if you will. So, you know, with that said, that is the definition of a non-reliable source of what a McDojo is, all right? And so please don't be freaked out, but like, I can't believe this, I'm going to turn into a McDojo. If you guys are part of this group, you know for a fact that you are not a McDojo, okay? Next topic, or next thing is misconceptions of McDojos. So some common misconceptions, and this definition did a good job of bringing up misconceptions, is that if you are a franchise, or if you have like multiple locations, that classifies you as a McDojo. Now, let me explain something, okay? If you are being classified as a McDojo, you should somewhat be proud, because let's talk about McDonald's, all right? McDonald's is a franchise, right? And as a franchise, you buy the business model of how to operate that business, right? Including how to train staff, how to prepare food, how to order it, how to cook it, how to deliver the product so it's consistent to the end customer, all of that stuff. So that if you have a McDonald's in the corner of First Street and Main Street, it's the same quality food of, you know, Big Mac, fries, soda from, like, I don't know, the one in Madison, Wisconsin, right? So my point being is that you want to have consistency in your martial arts training. In your martial arts instruction in your studio, and that's important. And that's something that most people don't understand is that if you don't have consistency in what you're teaching, especially if you have staff, so like if they're teaching differently, if they're not teaching the same types of movements and stances and blocks and punches, etc., 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 then that's inconsistency, right? So does that mean that you as a head instructor should teach everything and never have staff? No, never said that. It means that you should be consistent. So if someone classifies you as a McDojo, you'd be like, yeah, my staff is really consistent. What I teach them is what they, what I teach in classes and what I teach them how to teach is what they do in our program. It's really awesome. I'm really proud of them. Do you see that? That's what you got to get, guys, is that McDojo, because the internet connection is not fast enough. Okay. All right, so they just took off HD filming. That's not good. We'll turn it back on and see what happens. All right, so we can turn it off. All right, so anyways, with that said, don't be concerned about being classified as a McDojo. Because that's what you're looking for. You go to if you go to McDonald's, I'm not knocking you, but don't go to McDonald's. But if you go to McDonald's, you don't go there for their, amazing cheeseburgers and their perfectly crisp French fries. No, you don't go there for that. You go there because you know exactly what you're getting. That cheeseburger is the same stinking cheeseburger no matter where you go at any McDonald's location. Okay? Same thing with the fries. A number one is a number one is a number one. Right? No matter where you go. You see what I'm saying? That is consistency. And that's how you should start developing your team in teaching martial arts. You should develop them to be consistent in their teachings, okay? So you should train them to where the product and the service at the end is the same thing, whether you delivered it or, Sensei Johnny delivered it, okay? Does that sort of make sense? All right, next is, can you make money and not be a McDojo? You totally can. Okay? There's nothing wrong with making money. I feel like we're in this movement in today's day and age that money is the plague. That money is horrible and if you desire money, you are the devil. You are this horrible person. How dare you? You should never want money. You should want, peace and prosperity and to help the poor and to do all this stuff. Let me say something. There's nothing wrong with peace, prosperity, helping the poor, and everything else, and giving back. But without money, guess what you can't do? Help the poor, try to support peace and prosperity, give back to communities, give back to churches, all that stuff. You can't do all that. So guess what? You gotta have some money, guys. Okay? Don't be scared of making money. All right? Grant Cardone is like him or hate him. Grant Cardone is a behemoth in the sales world, if you will. He's smart. He's a really, really intelligent businessman. He's smart as far as how he approaches his business, how he makes money, all those things. At the same time, though, he understands that he has a responsibility. Okay? He needs to provide a service to people to help them improve on their training as far as like selling or marketing or promoting or whatever. But he also has to give back to the community, and he does. Okay? You can hate him, you can like him, I don't care. But he has a saying that says what he used to do is he'd go to conferences and he'd go to like galas and stuff like that, and he'd tell his sales team, he's like, listen, I care about who you talk to, who you spend your most time with, all right? Because we are not here to talk to the ones that don't have money to invest in our business, okay? We are here to find the person that has our money. And literally, he trains them to say, who has my money? And so they go around looking to see who has their money. And to a degree, guys, that's actually kind of a cool saying, because in reality, here's the thing. You got someone that's a prospective client that wants to purchase martial arts lessons from you, okay? And they come in, and they want to buy. They're interested in karate classes, all right? But they're also interested in soccer, and they're also interested in swimming and tennis. Okay, cool. That means that this person is in the market to get their kid in some sort of activity. So essentially, what you're saying is that. If you let this person get into tennis, tennis took your money. If you let this person get into swimming, swimming lessons took your money. Does that make sense? Okay. Don't be afraid of money, guys. You need to embrace it. But then there's also some sort of responsibility whenever you make it. Okay. So there is nothing wrong with making an income and getting paid fairly for your services. And when I say fairly, that number is completely up to you. It's your choice. It's whatever lifestyle you want to have. Okay? You just got to understand what your expenses are. You got to understand what your income requirements are for your lifestyle to support you and your family. You got to understand what you want to get out of this. That's it. Okay? And then from there you work backwards. And if you play small, you're not doing yourself, and you're not doing the community, and you're not doing the world a service. Okay? Don't play small to your talents. You need to step up your game and play big. All right? I mean, think of it this. I'll give you a personal story. All right? Let's see. About 2010, 2011. I was in my studio. I had a mentor that was helping me more with my faith and whatnot. Like, I've always believed in God. However, he was coming and doing like teaching sermons with some other men that he knew and I knew in my studio once a week. Right. So, anyways, long story short, I remember walking downtown, doing something, going out with my wife and her friends and whatever, and we were hanging out, and I had a vision, like right there, it hit me, a vision, and I kid you not, when I say this, I had a vision of me doing something to the extent of a Dave Ramsey, not doing what Dave Ramsey is doing, but doing something almost like on a larger platform. Like I was giving back to the community some way, shape, or form, giving back to other people and helping them achieve something. And I just had a vision. And then, gone. It didn't disappear or anything like that. It just left. That was kind of cool. And so, I talked about it with him, and I talked about it with my wife. Actually, at the time, my fiance at the time, because we weren't married yet. And I talked about it with her. And then, anyways, long story short, it's always stayed in the back of my head that I was like, I do have a bigger calling than just teaching martial arts at a studio. And this has nothing to say with what I did was bad. This has everything to say that where I was in my martial arts career was simply a stepping stone to get me to the next level. All right. So fast forward to where I am today. I recently sold my martial arts studio. I am starting a digital agency. I am doing coaching for people in the MA Biz U, and we're starting a one-to-one program for coaching as well too. I do consulting. I help companies improve their business. That's kind of a big platform, all from just teaching martial arts. My goal, I'm not gonna say my end goal, but my goal is to get to a point where I'm a motivational speaker or inspirational speaker, and I could become a keynote speaker at events or conferences. You get what I'm getting to, guys? But guess what? I couldn't have done that with, the trials and tribulations that I've went through getting to where I am right now. And a part of that journey involved making money and not making money. Part of that journey involved me, selling my business. I made a decent, return out of it. And it was cool. Okay. And so what I'm getting to, guys, is that there's nothing wrong with making an income with something that you are talented at doing. I'm talented at speaking and teaching people, but I needed to do it on a bigger platform. I no longer wanted to do it anymore in the classroom for kids. I have nothing against helping kids out. I love kids. They're great. I realized that I needed it in a bigger platform. Sorry, there's a fly around here. So that was something that I had. All right, so you get that? Cool. Next thing. Let's see. Why being a McDojo could be good. So I kind of already briefly talked about this, guys. Being a McDojo isn't bad, guys. It means that you have some sort of consistency in your business. It means that you have some sort of system in your business, organization in your business. You need it. You need to have some systems and organization, and it needs to be like a franchise. It needs to be set up that way, okay? Like, there should be a system on how to clean your bathroom. There should be a system on how to answer the phone. There should be a system on how to close sales. There should be a system on how to handle new inquiries. There should be a system whenever someone comes into the dojo. There should be a system on how to get people warmed up. There should be a system on how to teach people how to do roundhouse kicks. There should be a system. Do you see what's going on? There's nothing wrong with that, guys. It's called consistency. All right? If you don't have consistency in your business, then your style of teaching isn't special. It's just you. Okay? You might as well just call it, you martial arts. And I have nothing against the people that actually named their martial arts studio after themselves. Nothing against that. Just understand this, that now everything is based around you. Okay? So just kind of get that part. All right. So it's good to have consistency. Take the franchise model of some of the most successful franchises in the world and mimic that to your culture. You get that? Mimic it to your culture. Don't copy it. Mimic it to your culture so that it resembles kind of closely to what your culture is about. If you do that, then it's going to help you take your business to the next level. It's going to help make your business consistent. And more importantly, it's going to give a better quality to your client. At the end of the day, guys, you are trying to deliver the best quality to your client. That's it. The best quality. Okay? You go to a restaurant. Do you think restaurant owners want to have, their top chef basically only making food and never have a day off so that their clients are happy? No. Restaurant owners want to make sure that the food is consistent no matter who is cooking the food. Because if Chef Jacques is cooking only on Wednesdays and Mondays, and the restaurant is full on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then dead on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have an issue. There is a consistency problem because Chef Jacques, makes an amazing whatever on Mondays and Wednesdays, the days that he's there, and then, no, it has to be consistent. So understand that. Last one is what to do to prevent from being a McDojo. What should you do to prevent yourself from being a McDojo? First, let me explain something. It's not a disease. Don't worry. It's not a disease. Okay? It's not a disease, guys. Being a McDojo is not a bad thing. All right? If someone does call you that, be proud of it. Why? Because someone else hates your success. And that means you're on their radar, and that means that they're focused on not them. Guess who? You. Okay? So that means you're on their radar, and their concern is your success. You're doing something well, right? That's what you got to get. Okay? So to prevent from being a McDojo, though, stay true to your culture. Before you open your studio, understand your culture and your business values and your personal mission and your business mission. Understand those things, okay? And charge fairly for it. And provide so much value and service to your customers that when they pay you $150 a month, they're happy to pay you that. Why? Because they know that they're getting the best value in their martial arts. That their child is experiencing something great, that the mom or dad that is watching their kid develop is experiencing something great. You see what's going on? deliver and over-deliver on value and service. Teach them something that's going to be remarkable. Give their kids the confidence that it takes to be, world changers. Help them to develop on how to improve their grades. Help them to be more respectful. Get them the black belt. All these things. Like, do all those things and be true to what you do. Like, if it takes 3 years to get a black belt at your studio, cool. Make it tough. Okay. If it takes 4 years, fine. 5 years, fine. Who cares how long it takes another studio versus your studio? It's not, everyone has their own version. And if you have a junior black belt and someone else doesn't have a junior black belt, who cares? Why should that even be a concern? Why should that be, so-and-so said that if you get a black belt under 3 years, that means that, right now I'm just getting a message from Facebook Live that Grant Cardone is live right now. See what I'm saying? He's on all the time. I'm always like, oops. I did not want to go to his live. Sorry. He's on all the time, guys. So, nothing wrong with being in front of people. It means that you're being watched. That's good. All right. So with that said, is stay true to your values. Stay true to your business model, what you believe in, what you do. Okay. And the reason I say this stuff is that a lot of people are afraid it's like a disease. It's like, I got plagued with a McDojo and I can never go back. No, you just didn't know what your values were. You didn't lay those out initially. Okay. Everyone has values, guys. Everyone has things that they stand true for. Okay. In my studio, it was you had to be at least 11 years old to get a black belt. It was about 4 or 5 years, give or take, to get the black belt. Give or take, Some people did it under 4, some people did it in 6. It's all different. All right. Are all black belts created equal? No. There's some kids that have taken my black belt test. Okay. Let me rephrase that. There's some kids that have, in their journey, have failed the brown belt test 6 and 7 times in a row. And the kid still stuck around to be in the martial arts. All right? That child is not talented. All right? He's not talented in the athletic way of being the ideal black belt. What a black belt should truly look like. But you know what he's talented with? Determination. Perseverance. Dedication. Oh, wait, those are characteristics about our martial arts studio, about our students, about what a black belt is. Guess what? When that kid went up for black belt, he didn't look good the first time because we did a what we call a spot check review to make sure to see where you're at, and he wasn't the best one the second time, but he got promoted, and it's not because he's extremely talented. It's because he exemplified the characteristics that I see in a black belt. Does that make me a McDojo, or does that make me a person compassionate to see the growth of my student over the past 6 years? Do you see the difference? Because you don't know the journey of my students. You don't know the journey that they've struggled through. You don't know their personal struggles. You don't know if they're ever going to be good. Guys, I'm going to be honest here. Not everyone is going to be the perfect looking black belt where they're just crisp and perfect and they look like this. There is a reason why there are junior colleges, there are state colleges, and there is big time level universities. Okay? I'm not saying that getting a degree from a junior college or a state college is bad. Didn't imply that. But sometimes we shouldn't. Sometimes we just aren't that talented to be at the same level as Harvard grads. All right, I can tell you right now, I would probably flunk out of Harvard. All right, I find myself as an extremely intelligent person, very business savvy. But when you put me into textbook conceptual training and stuff like that, I don't get it, man. I can't retain half the information. I'm dyslexic. My wife, flip side, super, super smart. Sorry, my kids are upstairs playing. Super smart. My wife is extremely smart. I mean, I think in her entire college career, she got like, I don't know, 2 C's or something, or maybe 2 B's. I forget. And she's still ticked off to this day, right? I graduated with like a 2.25. I got kicked out of college. Okay? I don't care. My point is, not everyone knows the journey. Okay? And some people are not Harvard quality people. Some people are not state quality people. Some people are just going to go JUCO. Some people just don't go to college. Does that mean they're going to be a complete failure? No. It's a different path. So when it comes to developing your black belts, you're not losing your culture because kid failed brown belt test 6 times in a row, isn't the highest quality student. However, their dedication, their want to be in the martial arts, like all that stuff, that plays a role, guys. And so understand that in order to prevent yourself from being a black belt, understand your clients, understand the service and the value that you're delivering. Don't worry about what other people say. So if it takes 3 years to get a black belt in your school, cool. But you know what? Like, and if you make it hard and difficult, great. If it takes 5 years, great. If it takes 10 years, great. It's your school. Who cares what other people think? It's not the dojo of them. It's your dojo. It's your studio. Okay? So I think at the end of the day, to prevent you from being a McDojo, be true to who you are. All right. I hope this was good information for all of you guys. It was designed to help you guys kind of understand the importance of that. There's nothing wrong with growing your studio and making money. Okay. I'll make this public to you guys. I have a aspiration of becoming a millionaire. Okay. I do. Nothing wrong with that. And I kind of had arguments with some people about this in my family, not my wife, and other people, and it ticked me off. Because here's the thing, guys. I have that aspiration because I want a goal to achieve. Does that mean I have to make $1 million in a year? I didn't say that. I want to be a millionaire, like as far as like personal assets, income, investments. Do you see what's going on? Big difference. But people think that like, oh, that's not good. That's if you make a lot of money, you're a bad person. No, it's not, guys. You know, am I delivering less quality content on here because I have the goal of becoming a millionaire? No. I'm giving you guys the same quality content no matter what the goal is. If I want to be a dollaraire, it's the same quality content. But here's the difference. Do you want to be following someone that wants to be a dollaraire, or do you want to be following someone that wants to be someone a little bit more bigger and better than what they are? You see what's going on? So I have personal aspirations of that, you know? I've set myself up as a person and as a business to get me closer to that goal, okay? So, you know, like financially, there's certain things that we've gotten set up in our own personal finances. When I'm working on with my business, I'm growing it and developing it, separate from the MA Biz U stuff, get that going. One-to-one coaching, Facebook marketing, group coaching, get that stuff going on with Mike. Like, all these things are helping me achieve my goal, okay? At the end of the day, though, guys, I'm still delivering the same quality content. I'm still delivering value. I'm still delivering good information. I'm still trying to help all my clients that I work with. Nothing is changing. I'm not trying to deliver less. I'm trying to over-deliver, all right? And in the meantime, I have these goals that I have. Does that make me a Mick Javier? No, it just makes me Javier. That's all it does, okay? Aspirations to make money is not bad. It just depends on what you want for your lifestyle, guys, okay? There's nothing wrong for your lifestyle in your martial arts studio if you're bringing in $300,000 a year in your business and you take in $100,000 and $200,000 as, you know, expenses and, you know, coaches and instructors, whatever, and that's fine. If you'd rather take less, that's fine. That's on you. It's whatever you want, whatever makes you happy. But don't be concerned what other people think, okay? Be true to you. Figure out what you want, okay? Because you'll never be a McDojo if your heart doesn't believe in that, all right? Sound good? All right. Have a powerful 4th of July. That's not 4th of July. Hope you had a powerful 4th of July. Hope it was great. It's 5th. get back on track. Some of you guys probably are on vacation this week, so it's probably we have a small attendance. How you doing, Liz? And otherwise, that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys have a great day. I will talk to you guys later.